Form 2, long time no see, okay? I miss you so much. Remember to hand in the homework on your Google Classroom, okay? We will count as daily marks when you come back to school. So as the school may start in next month. So please do your homework now, okay? And you don't have enough time if not. So now today I haven't seen you for like around 3 months, right? So we haven't done listening for a very long time. So today I want to practice listening paper 3 with you together, okay? Because listening is the most important paper in your Hong Kong DSE. It contains like around 30% in your DSE paper, okay? So listening is the most important paper in your Hong Kong DSE exam, okay? So today we're going to do one listening task together, okay? So please take out your textbook, book 2B, okay, book 2B. And today we're going to do the listening task of Unit 6, page 48, okay, Unit 6, page 48. And I think you should all be familiarized with the listening task, the listening paper. Usually, how many parts in your listening paper? There should be 2 parts, right? So usually for part A is the listening task. You have to listen. Okay, I play the recording and then you try to finish all the answers. Okay, but for part B, do you remember what is the most special part of part B? So usually in part B, there will be a set of data file, right? You have to read through, you have to skim and scan the data file, and based on the data file, you finish the tasks in part B, right? But besides the data file part, you also have to listen for notes. You have to take notes. Okay, so according to your notes and also the data file, you can finish your part B, complete your part B. So today we're going through both part A and part B in your listening task. Okay, so now let's go to page 48. Let's go to page 48. So when you get your listening paper, there will always be situations here, 2 situations. There is one situation for part A and then another situation for part B in your exam. So today let's look at the situation first, okay? Remember, always read the situation. There are some important information in the situation. Okay, so you are Chris Wong, the secretary of the school fashion club. Secretary Bing Xu. Your teacher has asked you to help organize a fashion show and a charity sale during Fashion Week. So what are you going to do during the Fashion Week? You should organize a fashion show and also a charity sale during the Fashion Week. So after reading the situation, you should know that the keywords about this listening task is fashion. Okay, Csjss, fashion. So when you know, this task is all about fashion, you have to think about all the words related to fashion. So there are high possibility in spelling words related to fashion in your coming tasks, right? So think about the word related to fashion, okay? So now, let's go to task 1. Let's read the questions together, okay? You are listening to a radio interview. Listen to the program, complete your notes, fill in the blanks, underline the correct answers, and draw lines to match the problems and to the solutions. So you have to do 3 parts. The first one, fill in the blanks, and then underline the correct answers, and also matching. So there are 3 types of types of questions. So you have to be very careful. And if this task is so complicated, you have to read before the recording start. Okay, you have to read. So use the preparation time appropriately. Okay, so let's look at number 1 to number So let's look at number 1 to number 4. Okay, let's look at number 1 to number 4 first. Number 1 is the matching part. Okay, number 1 is the matching part. So we don't know yet. And then let's look at number 2. Only advise a problem and solution. Problem 問題 solution 解決方法. Okay, so only advertise the show with what? Advertise 廣告. So advise the show with posters or leaflets. 海報定係小冊子. So the what? If you advise with something and then the consequence might not be good because it is the problem, right? So what might the consequence be? Okay? Fix it temporarily. 暫時的 Okay? 暫時解決 fixed with safety pins and thread or sticky tape. Okay, so I have to listen now.
Welcome to Fashion Talk. Today we have top fashion designer Jimmy Tam with us to talk about the lessons he learnt from his first fashion show.
Hello everyone. Back then, I made lots of mistakes. For example, I only advertised my show by putting up posters at my fashion school. I didn't even hand out any leaflets. Not surprisingly, the tickets didn't sell well. Luckily, some friends helped me promote the show on their Facebook pages.
Okay, so if you listen, the question doesn't follow the numbers. Okay, it doesn't appear in order. Okay, so let's look at number 2 and number 3 first. Only advertise the show with.
For example, I only advertised my show by putting up posters at my fashion school.
By putting up posters. Okay, this one should be easy. So, this one is very long. The answer here is very long. Okay?
Not surprisingly, the tickets didn't sell well.
So you may jot down notes first. Okay, do not spell all the words, but jot down notes first. And then after the recording finished, you go back to complete your answer. Okay, tidy up your answer. So tickets didn't sell well. And then after this one, he directly moved to the solution. So what is the solution?
Luckily, some friends helped me promote the show on their Facebook pages.
Some friends help him to promote the show on their Facebook pages. Okay, so if you can, that's why you have to go through all the questions, and then when the solution comes out, you can quickly locate A, B, C first. Okay, so now let's go to number 5. Do not have a what on site in the sound system. What do we not have? Okay, and then the sound system. What happened to the sound system? Okay, so does this one related to sound systems? We don't know. Okay, and then if it is related to sound system, what the solution might be? Fix it temporarily with safety pins. Pins, 针碼. So does it related to sound system? I don't think so. Use his smartphone to play the music. Okay, music, definitely related to sound. Okay, next to a megaphone or microphone. Mega, big, micro, small. Okay, so let's listen.
Welcome to Fashion Talk.
I think you should make use of your social media network because it's free and effective.
What's the best way to promote a fashion show then?
I think you should make use of your social media network.
SOUND. At your first show?
Yes. I also made the mistake of not having a sound engineer on site.
A sound engineer, as in SOUNDENGINEER?
Yes. A sound engineer sets up and controls the sound system. I didn't have one at my show. I only asked a friend to play a CD during the show. Unfortunately, the sound system broke down. I had no choice but to use my smartphone to play music next to a microphone. The effect wasn't great.
That was very unlucky.
Indeed.
Okay, number 6 to number 7, very difficult, but he spelled for you, okay? I don't know if you can follow the spelling.
Yes, I also made the mistake of not having a sound engineer on site.
Okay, sound engineer, sound, sing, okay? Engineer, 工程師, okay? So, someone specialized in playing sound, okay? And then the sound system.
Unfortunately, the sound system broke down.
Okay, broke down, 壞咗, okay? 失靈. Okay, and then so what do we do? Use his microphone, a smartphone to play the music to a microphone, okay?
I had no choice but to use my smartphone to play music next to a microphone.
Okay, so for this one very clearly. And then if number 1 and number 5, if we finish number 1 and 5, you should already know the answer of number 9. Okay, so let's look at number 10 and number 11. Forget to hire a what, and one of the burst open, 爆開, so hire a what. So it's about the fashion show, what can be burst open, okay? And fix it temporarily with safety pins. 嗰啲用啲針 keep 住 okay? And then also what the other one, okay? So let's listen.
Welcome to
I suggest that you test the sound system before the show and make sure everything works.
I'm sure our listeners will keep that in mind.
It might be a good idea to have a tailor on site too. I forgot to hire one for my first show. Unluckily, one of the dresses burst open. There was a big hole in it. Nobody knew how to sew up the hole, so we had to fix it temporarily with safety pins and sticky tape. If you can't afford a tailor, at least have a sewing kit ready at all times.
Thanks for the sharing, Jimmy. Next.
Okay, forget to hire a...
It might be a good idea to have a tailor on site too.
tailor, okay?
Unluckily, one of the dresses burst open.
Dresses, okay, dresses.
Nobody knew how to sew up the hole, so we had to fix it temporarily with safety pins and sticky tape.
Sticky tape. Okay, and then now let's go to number 13 to 15. So this is the most difficult part because if you don't read through the question before the recording starts, you will miss these three because it doesn't happen after number 12. Okay, so for the first one, number 13, he tells the answer of number 13 after number 8. So after talking about problem 1, Jimmy gives his tips. Okay, and after talking about problem number 5, which is problem number 2 actually, so Jimmy also gave the tips here. And then the last one always have a what kit ready. Okay, so if you didn't read the questions, you have no sense of where this point should appear, right? If you read before the recording starts, you will know he's talking about this part. Okay.
I think you should make use of your social media network because it's free and effective.
It is free and effective. As this one is the underlying question type, so it should be very easy, but you really need to know when he talks about it. Okay?
So, I'd suggest that you test the sound system before the show and make sure everything works. If you can't afford a tailor, at least have a sewing kit ready at all times.
Sewing kit 嗰啲縫針嘅工具箱啊。Okay, so for task 1, it's not easy, right? It's not easy. And I really, again, highly suggest you to read the questions before the recording starts. Okay? So now let's move on to page 49. Okay, part B, task 1. So as I said, usually in your speaking paper, you have to listen and to jot down notes. So this one is for the note-taking part. Okay, note sheet. It will not in your exam. It will not counted as your marks, but the answer will appear. You will use the answer here in your coming tasks. So it's also very important. So now let's go to part B together. Okay? You and the other members of the fashion club are having a meeting about the Fashion Week charity sale with your teacher. Listen to the discussion and complete the note sheet. Okay? So now we have to go through this note sheet quickly. Problem solution. Okay, so this is the most general two part of this note sheet. Okay, and then there are 3 stores. 鋪頭攤位. Okay, there are 3 stores. Different name with different content. Okay, so let's listen for number 1, number 2 first. Right? Now, like I said, read the questions first. Problem, what is the problem? To include all the sponsors in the shopping guide. Sponsors, 贊助商,贊助人, okay? So, what include? What to include, okay? And then solution. Select some what? The most interesting stores to include in the guide, okay? So maybe there are too many stores. So select some what? Okay, the most important one, the most interesting one. So the most interesting stores means what? Okay, so let's listen.
Last week, I asked you to prepare a shopping guide for the charity sale during the Fashion Week next month. How's it going so far?
Mr. Ho, the main difficulty is that there isn't enough space to introduce all the sponsors in the shopping guide.
Well, why don't you pick a few highlights and focus on them? Highlights means the most interesting part of something. It's spelled HIGHLIGHTS. Let's go over the list of sponsors.
Okay. Number 1, what to include?
Mr. Ho, the main difficulty is that there isn't enough space to introduce all the sponsors in the shopping guide.
There isn't enough space. Not enough space. Okay?
Well, why don't you pick a few highlights and focus on them?
highlights. Okay, he spelled in the recording before. Okay, highlights 重點、光點、高光。Okay, highlights. Okay, highlights. Okay, so now let's go to the stores. Okay, the stores.
Z Factor. It's a popular shop that sells casual wear. My friends and I buy clothes. How about Z Factor? It's a popular shop that sells casual wear. My friends and I buy clothes there sometimes. What will they be selling on the day of the charity sale? Mostly casual stuff. Spaghetti tops, jeans, flip-flops, things like that. It's still springtime now, but they'll bring their latest summer collection to the sale. They're also giving us an extra 20% discount. 20%? That sounds great. Let's include that. You might want to include...
Okay, Z Factor, Z Factor, okay? A popular shop selling such as flip-flops. Okay, so selling...
It's a popular shop that sells casual wear.
Casual wear. Casual 休閒嘅 ，OK， 我哋着得 casual 啲 ，OK， 不是很正式嘅 ，OK，so casual wear，OK，and what is the example of these casual wear?
Spaghetti tops, jeans, flip-flops, things like that.
Spaghetti tops， 我哋啲吊帶嗰啲衫啊，咁 you should have learned this word in your Unit 6 vocabulary if you have done your Quizlet. Okay, and also jeans. Okay, jeans 牛仔褲 will be selling their latest what? Even though it's still springtime. 春天賣緊 latest 最新的。
It's still springtime now, but they'll bring their latest summer collection to the sale.
Summer collection 夏日嘅裝束啊，夏日嘅系列 ，OK， 夏天系列 ，OK。Student enjoy an extra discount or
They're also giving us an extra 20% discount.
20%, okay, 20%. So if you are having a 20% discount， 就係幾多折？8折啊，8折。Okay, 20% off. Okay, now let's go to Gigi and Cara. It is a what boutique 鋪頭 boutique 晒嘅鋪頭 ，OK？ 葵廣嗰啲鋪頭 boutiques，OK？That sells elegant jacket and what? Jacket 外套 ，OK？ Spend 300 and more to get a free. I guess it should be a gift, okay? Over 300, you will get a free what? Okay?
That. It's still springtime now, but they'll bring us an extra 20% discount. 20%? That sounds great. Let's include that. You might want to include Gigi and Cara too. It's a local boutique which sells elegant jackets and blouses.
Actually, I think they'll be giving away something at the sale. Let me see. Yes, they're offering a free cotton shopping bag to people who spend $300 or more. I think the girls will like it.
I think so too. Now, we have...
Okay, a local boutique.
It's a local boutique which sells elegant jackets and blouses.
Blouses. 上身衫 ，OK? And then local 本地的 blouses 女士嘅上身衫啊，女士嗰啲花花嘅恤衫 ，OK? Spend 300.
Yes, they're offering a free cotton shopping bag to people who spend $300 or more.
Cotton shopping bag 棉質嘅購物袋 ，OK。If you spend over 300, you will get a free cotton shopping bag. Okay, so let's go to Who's Studio. Okay, a shop that sells sportswear. The designers are what but trendy. Trendy 時尚嘅、潮流嘅。Donate all the profits. Donate 捐啊 from the sales to charity. Okay, so let's listen again.
Now, we have room to write about one more stall. Shall we introduce Paul Wong's studio? I heard that Paul Wong is an up-and-coming fashion designer who designs sportswear. Yes, I've heard of him too. My brother said that his designs are simple but very trendy. He also said his clothes make people look cool. Excellent. I think you should also mention that Paul Wong is donating all the profits from the sale to charity.
Okay, we'll do that. Thanks, Mr. Ho.
Thanks for helping out with...
Okay, so Who's Studio? Paul Wong. Do you know how to spell Paul? Do you know how to spell Wong?
Shall we introduce Paul Wong's studio?
Paul Wong Studio. Okay, so his designs are simple but trendy.
My brother said that his designs are simple but very trendy.
Simple, okay, simple. Can you spell simple? 簡單的 okay, simple but trendy. So after listening to the discussion here and all the notes we have taken down, we have to try to finish our integrated tasks after this one. Okay, so I will pass the time to Mr. C. Okay.
Okay, so please take time to copy down this answer and you need to use later. Okay. So I give you 30 seconds more to copy down the answer, okay? Okay, so besides we have jotted down the notes for the part B and notes taken down, okay? So for the integrated task, besides we have to listen and you need to read and combine the data file to finish the task for the next part B on page 51, okay? So first of all, as the data file, we need to look at this part. The first one is about what you are going to write or what content you need to include for your task 2, okay? So you can see here, dear Chris, how are you getting on with the shopping guide? Okay, so as we need to have the charity sale as mentioned, for the fashion cup, okay, so I forgot to mention one point during our last meeting. So this part is adding more information besides the note taking for the task 1, okay? So I think we need to remind students that the sales is meaningful charity event, okay? Meaningful, 有意義嘅. Student can be fashionable and help the needy at the same time by shopping at the sales, okay? student can be fashionable. Okay, so as a fashion club event, so student can be fashionable， 即係有潮流啲嘅，好潮啲嘅。Okay, and the charity sale is what? To help the needy at the same time by shopping at the sale. Okay, and so I came with a name for the event. Okay, this is also very important. It is giving a name for the charity sale. It's called All Things Trendy. Okay, so at this part, you know that you need to have what? You need to know the purpose for the charity sale is what? Help the needy, and then the name is what? It's called All Things Trendy. Okay, so this is very important for you to mark down on your book, and then you need to use later. Okay. And then for this part, you can see a message for a lamb, okay, a male, a female, I think, okay. And then it is a message for asking a Chris, okay, you can see Chris, asking Flora about her shop, okay. So you know that in the part A, it's mentioned 3 different shop names, okay. Z Factor, GT and Kara, and then Paul Wall Studio. Okay, so this is the 4th. Okay, and then blah 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 blah. Okay, it is talking about what? The DIY accessory workshop. Okay, so what kind of the shop? Flora is a DIY 即係自製嘅一啲 accessory 即係首飾啊配飾嘅一個 workshop 即係工作坊 ，OK？ So he teach people how to create a piece of jewelry， 即係整一啲珠寶得唔得 ？OK？ So the class size is what? Among 20 students, okay? Every Sunday, it may be useful for your later part, okay? And then blah blah blah, okay? So she teach people how to make rings, bracelets, and then necklace. So what kind of necklace did they used to make? Okay. And then how much? Okay, for shop we need to know how much. 100 per person. Okay, may be useful as for the data file. Some kinds of information are very important. For example, the numbers and the purpose or the name for the shop, okay? And then you need to see the duration is what? About 55 minutes, okay? And then you can see maybe a 45 minutes workshop may be enough for holding the workshop in the charity sales, okay? So this information may be useful for your part B, okay? And then, as Ms. He mentioned, for the listening part, we need to do what? Look at the question first, okay? So, this one you can see, you are preparing the shopping guide for the charity sale during the fashion week, okay? So you need to prepare what? A fashion guide, 一個指南 for the people to join your charity sale to look at. Oh, 一個簡介咁樣嘅 what we can buy, what kind of shop is there, okay? So, for this one, you can see what? Charity sale. So, firstly, for this charity guide, we need to have what? At the first part. Usually be what? 一個標題 title, okay? So the title is given the name for the charity sale. So where we can find the name of the charity sale? For the listening part or for the data file? You may answer your question. Write your answer on the chat room, okay? So usually, as we mentioned that before, the name is what? I came up with the name for what? All Things Trendy, okay? All Things Trendy. So, here, what kind of charity sale is the name? you simply just write that down, okay? All things trendy, okay? It's easy, okay? Just copy your answer and then from the data file. So you need to look carefully for searching the useful information for you to answer the question, okay? And then this here you can, okay, this is its purpose, okay? So you can see what's right here. I make it loud. Okay, you can see what's be fashionable, okay? So it is also you can find the related information in what? In the data file part 1, okay? That means the email that Chris Wong sent to Paul Ho, okay? So besides being fashion, it is shown that what? In the same question you need is what is that maybe a bit clumsy because I need to show you the answer where you can find. So you can see, be fashionable and then help the needy, okay? So this is the answer for the second part, help the needy, okay? Help the needy. And then take a walk around the store and you will find the stylish thing everywhere, okay? Just easy, just copy the information for the data file, okay? So you need to read carefully for data file. Also, please don't say that, oh, Mr. C, I can't find the answer. How can we write it down? Oh, it is so hard. So just be patient and then look carefully for the content for the data file and you can find some answer. Okay, not all the part is getting from the listening part, okay? So you can use your reading skills to find some of the answer, okay? So you can still get marked for your listening part, so don't be worried about I don't know how to do, I can't get marks, I get 0 marks, listening is too hard, okay? So not an excuse for you to not doing well or not trying to do it, okay? So and then you can see 3 different short names right here. As mentioned, Z Factor, Gigi and Kara, and then Watch Studio, okay? So it's just very easy. So how can we get this answer? For the data file part or for the previous listening part A, okay? Which part? So how can we get this answer? So from we hear or we read. Simply, this part is what's from the listening part, okay? So, for guessing the answer, okay, so sells 20 watts. 20 watts, it should be a noun, okay? So, selling 即係賣啲乜嘢啦? So, okay, it should be a what? A noun or adjective or something. So, should be a product's name, okay? 20 watt. Casual wear, okay? So, 買啲好輕便嘅裝束嘅 ，OK， set letter 我識 ，as you mentioned before by mistake. And then you are looking for something comfortable to wear, comfortable 舒服嘅。This is the right place for you because you can see exclamation mark here. It is not a too formal article, okay? It is just a charity guide, shopping guide for you to read. So it's using some casual tone to attract your attention or draw your attention and then increase the bonding between the readers and the writer, okay? So there will be a what? Discount. You can see here, discount. Discount, okay? 一個折扣. So, as we mentioned before, how many percent discount it can provide, okay? So, 20, okay? So it's all from the data file, okay? 20% off, 8折. Okay, so the weather is getting hotter. So remember to check out their latest. So exactly, you can find this wording in the data file part and the recording part, okay? So check their latest summer collection, okay? summer collection. So you can see all these answers you can find, okay? 20% off. Sorry. So please flip your books to page 49, 50, and 51, okay? And then for this one, you can see this blah 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 use the best material for their elegant clothes. Okay, so what kind of product for Gigi and Carol is using the best material for the elegant clothes? Okay, so it's mentioned that the product is like what kind of shop? You can see a shop sells trendy casual clothes forever. Okay, so simply it is a local boutique. 本地嘅一啲時裝鋪頭細間啲嘅 boutique use the best material for their clothes, okay? So and then his clothes is very popular and what you can show his bird, okay? So you can see here, okay, right here. And then you can see what is more, they will give you a free watch if you spend 300 or more. So in the past, it's mentioned that you can get a watch, free cotton shopping bag if you spend 300 or more, okay? So what kind of you can get? Right here, okay? And then it is simple. So what is the name for the studio? Paul Wong, okay? Paul Wong Studio. So please be carefully write this down carefully as the spelling. Don't mess up with your own spelling and the word showed in the data file, okay? Or the recording, okay? And then his design is what? But trendy. 嗰啲設計係點樣㗎？好時尚，但係係點啊 ？Simple, okay? Simple. And this is all you can find at the data file, okay? So at the recording part. So that's why I need ask you to drop the answer down for you to do this part, okay? So it is important for you to drop your answer. Otherwise you can't do it correctly, okay? And then shop at Paul because he will donate the profit from the sale to, okay? This is the last part for the Paul Wong Studio as we do in the recording for the part A, okay? Donate what? Donate 就係捐贈。All the profit 即係啲收益利潤 profit to what? To the charity because as we mentioned it is what? The charity sale, okay? 一個慈善義賣 charity sale. So all the profit will be given to the charity, okay? So next one for the last part. DIY accessory workshop. So, what kind of information we can find for the DIY accessory workshop? For the recording or for the data file? So this part is for the data file part 2, okay? So, we first of all look at what they ask us, okay? So, for our instructor, okay, instructor, 即係一個指導員. So we can see a comma right here. So instructor, usually after the comma we are telling about the name of the instructor, 即係佢嘅名係乜嘢, okay? So we need to be careful to find out what is the name for the instructor or for the shop owner, okay? As mentioned in the data file, okay? And then for dollars, okay, 幾多錢? So simply dollar, so here we can write down with what? Numbers, okay? 數字即係關於 dollars 係錢 okay? So usually we fill in number right here. So we need to be careful for the numbers or for the amount of money or dollars we need to write it down right here, okay? So you can spend amount this dollars and then you can bring home a ring, a bracelet, or a necklace, okay? 即係可以俾幾多錢就可以戴一啲戒指啊、頸鏈啊咁樣啦。Okay, each session lasts for, okay, so last for it is asking the duration. 即係一個時間嗰個係幾長嘅，個時段係幾耐嘅，好冇 ？Okay, so how many minutes does it take? Okay, and then only what peoples? Okay, so it is also a number of people can join at once. Okay, so be careful for this kind of information. So we look back to the beautiful part. Okay. So here we need to notice about what the name, okay, and then the amount of dollars we need to spend to join the workshop, and then how long does it last, okay, and then how many people we can join, okay. So that's why I marked that down before. So you can see, oh, I teach a class of 20 students, and then so how many people we can join for the workshop, okay? But you can see right here, okay? Only 10 people can be in each class. So this one is marking the previous time for 4 lamb to have the classes every Sunday, but this is answering the question how many people can join for the workshop for the charity sale, okay? So it should be 10, not 20, okay? And then you can see right here, charge what? 100%, $100 per each person. Okay, you can see. We can find the amount of the entrance fee, and then you can see what? It lasts for 49 minutes, okay? So because for the Sunday classes he taught before is 55 minutes, but for this time for the workshop to be open is only what? For 45 minutes, okay? So please don't write 15 minutes, 55 minutes, okay? And then the most important part is that the name of the instructor is what? Floor Lamb, okay? Just copy down, Floor Lamb. Okay, so you can see the answer, or you can find from the data file. If you look carefully for the answer, okay? You can see, oh, so the instructor name is what? Floor Lamb. So please be aware for the capital letter for writing down the name, okay? For the instructor, Floor Lamb. Capital letter for F, and then name, Lamb is for L, big L, okay? And then $100, and then 45 minutes. You can simply write that down the number, or you can write down the words for the numbers, okay? So I just suggest you to write down the numbers if it is larger than 10, because you need to convert 11 to a word, or just writing down 1. Which one is easier? I think writing down 1 as 11 is much more easier for you to write down the words, okay? So, you see 10, if you are, for the public examination, it is useful to appear asking you to write down the numbers, or asking you about the amount of money, or how much do we cost, okay? So, please carefully for listening for the amount of numbers, okay? So any question for doing this data file, okay? So please remember that for the listening part is separate for 2 parts. The part A is just for your listening, and then you need to fill in the blanks and for some simple answer, okay? So for part B, we need to have the listening part first, as dropping down your notes for the note sheet, okay? And then for the data file, you need to scan through the content for the data file, and then which part do we need to use for the later task, okay? And then usually for the data file part 1, the first data for the data file is mentioned about the content or foreign task, what you need to do as the foreign, okay? So please read the data file for page 1 besides the notes taking part, and then you need to read carefully, and then it tells you all what you need to do in the later part. And then you need to listen carefully to mark down your notes. As you can see, half of the answer you can find is from the recording. So please be remember and listen carefully for the recording part, and then you can get some mark. Or you can say, oh, listening is too hard for you to drop all these work correctly. You can do what? You can read and then copy the answer you need for the data from the data file, okay? So I hope you can do better in the later for your final exam. If you taking or doing the listening exam, you need to be careful. You can get some marks, at least you can get some marks as from copying the answer from the data file. Okay, so this is the end for today's lesson. So please stay healthy, and then we can hope to see you guys in the next month. Okay, so bye bye.